Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Mushi-shi episode 18. This one is called Clothes That Embrace the Mountain? Yes, which makes me like a little bit apprehensive because usually when there's a mountain involved in these stories, it's because some things are going on. Well, on the one hand, we did have that one Mushi that was a giant snake, and I did appreciate that. Probably not people who don't like snakes, but I thought he was cute. In 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, we're not starting with the opener. Okay. Okay, so that's mountains clothing. Setting up that being part of it. White smoke also makes me like antsy. That feels like Mushi. Also saying smoke coming from people's homes also makes me feel like a little bit antsy because like that could be just like cooking fires and it could also be something happening. It shouldn't be. Y'all are really casual with the fact that there's just like smoke coming from a forested, uninhabited mountain. I do appreciate the like stories of like what you tell kids to explain natural phenomenon. The big one for me growing up was like thunder and like lightning and stuff. I do think it's interesting though the like fog and like haziness because it's white, right? And we associate that a lot with like mushi is like the white kind of smoke haziness. Mm. I do like it also interesting to be like the mountains look the same. Or an artist. Interesting that we have the like silk again. We had the like silk imagery in the last one too. With the cocoons. What do we need to forgive for? Where are we going? And why do we need forgiveness? Because I'm assuming it was their dad before that was like working. And he didn't seem like upset about anything. Beautiful transition. To just like the passing of time, but like again, the haziness of like snow, you know, this like white like cover over the world. Also kind of like clothing, right? Like there's this dampening to snow that was like so much the connection with the like haziness of like smoke and mist and stuff. Or maybe we needed forgiveness because we were going away to like art to learn art. Is that why? Like we were leaving home to learn artwork instead? I like the lineup of those shots with the earlier one. Like doing similar things, but passage of time. Do not be a thief. Even if it is to like paint something, I'm assuming. Saying we're doing something we shouldn't be. Oh, be homesick. And that's where the painting comes from. That makes me worried about how we got in somebody else's hands because it seems like sentimental. I do think it's interesting that the lining be like this secret that you kind of keep with you, right? And it's also like at like his back while he's wearing it, right? It's like something that is like behind him in his past, but he's kind of like carrying with him. Because it's good? Are we threatened? Moment of like you're actually really good, begrudgingly. But like give him like the space, the materials, and the time to do something with it. Mm, been there, my friend. Oof. Doing artwork on commission. Also been there, my guy. Not my favorite thing. Mm, except the jacket. It is pretty. Oof. Good to have work lined up, though. But you're gonna have to pay for the materials. Especially like a big piece like that. There's so much paint and time and materials. I do like that it's like mountains, though. Like it's such a from that moment of like wonder as a child that has just like carried with him to the way that he like expresses later, right? Is like influenced by this like nature and um the influence of like seeing these mountains with these like smoke coming from them. Oof. Yes, good luck. I mean, great to have steady work, but also it's a lot. Have we forgotten about it? We're not carrying it with us anymore? Are we the master now? Mm-hmm. I guess that it's nice to have work, but it's also stressful. Dang, are we burning them? Being like, I know when it's due. I know when they need to have stuff finished. Oh dear. Which village? Oh no. People always think it can't happen to me until it does. Ooh. And it's gone from the shop. That seems so symbolic to be like, if it is the same village that like it's disappeared even from like the painting. Oh, now the critiques happen. I think some of that's just like again, like he's painting stuff not because he is like inspired, right? Like earlier on it was like, oh, I'm painting because I need to. There's like a compulsion to it. And now it's like I'm painting because it's my job and I have deadlines and people are like expecting things of me. I just feel like this is like getting to me personally. It's like someone who has like a history with like visual art and stuff and definitely had to like pull back from that world. And now there's like the memories, the connections, right? And like back to like the thing um that like inspired him, right? Like the mountains and his childhood and family, like all these kind of things going through his life, getting to live his life that inspired his artwork, right? Whereas now it's just like making things because people paid him do it. I have a feeling your hometown might be gone, my guy. But also, like, it's never gonna be the same, right? Like, the mountains might be unchanged, but like everything else is gonna change, right? Maybe I just say that if someone who's like gone back to where I grew up and I'm like, things are different. Time didn't stop while I wasn't here. Yeah. At least there's still someone around. Or if you didn't read it, was it part of those like notices that he got where he was like, oh, I'm gonna burn these because they're just like deadlines and he didn't actually look at them? Oh. And he didn't, so it does sound like he didn't care because he didn't respond. Oh, that's a bad letter to not get. Oh, because it feels like it's like, oh, you didn't even bother to read it. Like you didn't even, or if you did, like you didn't even care, right? Like you got a letter and you didn't read it. But like he didn't even look. He didn't know it was there. I like that kind of legend, you know, of like this painter. It kind of sets up the first part of this story. I mean, it might be one of the most harmless things you sold to your friend who just has a collection of mushy related things. The haggling. I love the haggling back and forth. It's like you probably paid nothing for it. It's like, yeah, but you're probably gonna sell it for something great. And he's like, yeah, but like I don't want to risk something. You're just like staying in the mountains or close to the mountains. Yeah, I'm like the thing that fueled his paintings is gone. Almost like again, if like if the main thing is the mountains, right? Like he said at like the beginning, we had the name of oh, we stayed in our hometown. Bold choice. But like when he said before of like, oh, the mountains are the same, but everything is different, right? Like the mountains haven't changed, but they've caused this thing to happen, right? This tragedy. Even though like it's not on purpose, like the mountain doesn't landslides don't happen with like intent. Looks like someone's looking out for him though. Ooh, the aunt? And like his nephew? Niece? I don't know if we have a gender. Well, that's good. The fatigue isn't as bad. Oh, that got dark real fast. Yeah, I'm like they're not gonna like that. Just because he's like an outsider, right? And especially from like their perspective, it's like you didn't care about your family or this village, but it's also like his one connection to like his actual family, right? To his sister. And people are like more helpful now because it's like you're taking care of someone else. They could see him through a different perspective of like actually caring for someone, right? Cute though. Okay, we get to work in the fields, be included in things. And the mountains again are similar because he has like village people around him, people that he's like connected to and cares about. Interesting. Are they back to normal? You just see them the way that you used to. I'm assuming something Mushi related. Be careful, my guy. Oh, just casual. I mean, like a little bit. I do think it's fascinating to have like the mountains are like they did the like back to normal, and then this like painting that he made when he was like truly inspired comes back into his life. This music cue. Shenanigans. And then we got dragged down. That's rough, buddy. I love the like barely suppressed laugh. Ooh, I don't like that it's mud though because we have the landslide. Even if it is connected to like Mushi, like again, like Mushi are a force of nature, it's still not like an intent. But oh, so it's almost like the essence of the mountain was like captured in the painting. So it's made of the mountain, and then he painted like the mountain on, and then it was like painted from that inspiration of the mountain. Animals like a young child. that was born a year after the landslide? Just saying. That's what I'm saying. Cute. Just matters who. Who are we gonna sell it to? Do we paint a replica so we could sell it? Truly rare occasions. You're gonna have to wait like 10 years before it becomes a problem. We got a forgery. Does it count as a forgery if it's from the same artist? But it means he also could paint again. Back to the beginning. Very cyclical. I love the like, ooh, cool, because probably just never seen it, right? Like it's like a cool trick to like a kid to be able to paint something and like almost like an illusion, right? I think that was such a cool like narrative way of telling the story, right? Like it very much wasn't focused on like Ginkgo. I feel like we've had quite a few that are very much him interacting directly with things. This was a lot of like flashback in relation to this painting and like more focused on Kai as like a character, right? And like him going through something. But maybe it's also because I have a visual art background that I'm also just fascinated by a story that has to do with that and like seeing parallels, like seeing someone who is taking this thing that they saw as a child that caused this like wonder and these stories and this imagination, right? With the way that his sister is, oh, this is why there's smoke from the mountains, or even just like asking questions of like, why does this natural phenomenon work, right? Yeah, it's related to Mushi, but there's so many things that you see as a kid that you don't fully understand and they seem like magic, right? So taking this thing that has that kind of quality to it, these stories, and is connected to like his home, right? The kind of magic that comes with something that is familiar and homey and that you connect with the ones that you love, and putting it into this painting connected to the sentimental thing, right? Out of this need to create, he was washing the paint dishes and was just working at this kind of, I'm assuming like an art school or like where this like art master was, where he was apprenticed or like going to be at some point doing like grunt work as opposed to actually becoming like a painter in any way, right? And created this painting from this place of just like inspiration, like needing to create something that is so connected to the foundations of who he is as a person, and then having that so reflective of what it means to go through the disillusionment of success, being a successful famous painter, right? And becoming like a master to other people and like teaching them, and how that kind of devolves into something that isn't necessarily from that same place, because you're not creating from inspiration anymore, right? You're creating from this need to like meet deadlines and to have like clients and stuff, and like getting to the point where it's affecting his health. He's not looking at his mail because it's always just like the same thing of people like asking him to do more and more, and he's like, oh, they get tired, I'm tired. That's such an interesting story anyway, to be disillusioned with this kind of grand dream of becoming this like master painter, this famous painter, right? And what he really wanted was to like go back to his home, back to the people, back to his family. And it's only when he integrated back into that, was like part of a village, part of a community, part of the life of his like niece, right, that all of it came back. Both the mountains looked the same and the inspiration came back. He could paint again, right? So I think that is all really beautiful, fascinating story. And again, I really like the device of us spending a lot of time with this one kind of character story as opposed to a story that has Ginkgo like more directly involved. What did Ginkgo do in this? He fell into a mud hole and conned somebody with a painting that wasn't actually related to Mushi anymore. So I kind of love going off track from him a little bit. And we spent some time with him and then getting some backstory and learning a lot about who he was. And I like taking this moment to just have kind of an art story, especially from an anime where there are a bunch of people who have done the art for this series. So I'm sure that there's a lot of inspiration from that. And there's a lot of like rich history within like Japan and lots of different cultures that have to do with art and artists and all of that. I think probably especially for the people working on this project where there's some gorgeous artwork involved, that being able to tell the story of an artist is probably something very near and dear to their heart, much like it is for me. But I feel like I could talk about this episode more, but it would be like more pulling from like personal things. A really beautiful episode. I really liked dealing with something that was very character focused, and even like the Mushi weren't like this huge central aspect to it, right? It was more about like the character and the painting and kind of the process of all of that. But I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to me next time I post a Mushi-shi reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.